legendary Ink and Iron Festival comes to Nashville, Tennessee for the first time at the Bicentennial Mall Park at Municipal Auditorium August 6th to the 9th, featuring artists such as Merle Haggard, Wanda Jackson, Reverend Horton Heat, Shooter Jennings, Sharon Jones, and the Dap Kings. Also, the legends of Sun Records in the air-conditioned Big Top Tent, including Linda Gail Lewis, Carl Mann, W.S. Flu Collin, Danny B. Harvey, and Annie Marie Lewis, J.M. Van Eaton, Sleepy LaBeef, Stan Perkins, Rayburn Anthony, and so many more artists, but that's not all. See vaudeville and cabaret performers along with the nation's top aerial performers, custom motorcycles, hot rods, and custom cars. And don't forget the ink. 280 of the world's top tattoo artists will be on hand for your tattoo desires. That's the Ink and Iron Festival, August 6th to the 9th at the Bicentennial Mall Park in Nashville, Tennessee. Find us online at ink-n-iron.com. Gears and Gals magazine began with a simple goal: to put out the hot rod magazine they wanted to read. Gears and Gals Hot Rod and Pinup magazine features exactly what you would expect: pinup girls, artist profiles, events coverage, builder profile, and of course traditional and custom hot rods. It's also printed in the USA on the best quality paper and inks available. Find them online at gearsandgals.com. Gears and Gals magazine, the only hot rod and pinup magazine you'll ever need. Hey, we're back on the Rockabilly and Blues Radio Hour, and we just heard Oakie Boogie from our guest Levi Dexter and the Gretsch Brothers. It's a partnership we'll talk about here in just a little bit. We're going to come back to music, but I want to talk about something probably even more important. I know I can speak for myself and pretty much every other man I know that's married. We all tend to marry up, and you're no exception. You're married to the lovely Bernie Dexter, probably the top pinup model and clothing designer. The two of you guys are just a lovely couple. What's life like for you guys out there in Oregon?
I met Bernie, actually we were set up on a blind date by Tim Polecat.
Okay.
People. And we just got along immediately, and by 99 we were married, and she was happy to just be my wife, let me do what I do kind of thing. Just a happy couple, and, you know, I was doing my music, and she was working. And then I couldn't help but notice she was very close to Billy Page as far as looks. So I said, look, you know, let me take a picture. So we took some pictures, and we posted them up on, like, MySpace and stuff. And people reacted immediately, said, oh, my God, it's like Billy Page and real pin-up, blah, blah, blah. And there wasn't really wasn't a pin-up scene back then at all. There was models and all that, but the pin-up culture or pin-up lifestyle thing did not exist. And then because of the pictures, she had done a few sessions with people who are photographers, and what happened was that she would model whatever it was, and then the photographer would send us an email and say, hey, guess what? I just got your picture published in this and that, and I'm getting paid, and blah, 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 blah. And we said, well, what do we get? What does Bernie get? You know, I'm the photographer, but at least what does Bernie get? She said, she doesn't get anything. She's the model. And I was like, that doesn't sound right with me, you know? You're doing all these sessions, and they're getting all of it, and say the rights to own the pictures, and you get nothing. That's wrong. So then I said, look, I'll take pictures. And so I became her photographer. And then from that, she started getting many, many, many modeling jobs with all the new companies that were coming out with, you know, pin-up style, 50s style clothing. And that went really well. We had a bit of a thing with CMG, the company that actually owned the likeness and the name of Billy Page. So they kind of took offense to the similarity.
Yeah.
So we kind of butted heads. They were basically stopping people using Bernie to model, saying that it was infringing on the rights that they owned the rights to. And so it came to a head, and in the end, they backed down. You know, we had a lawyer that they'd already lost, a lawsuit with. And so we got the same lawyer, they backed away. Betty Page was actually in contact with Bernie at the very end of her life, put her gallery up of pictures on the Betty Page website. There was plans for them to get together and meet and all that kind of stuff. And then she had a stroke, and then she was sick.
Wow.
And then next thing you know, she was gone. And surprisingly to us, I guess as a olive leaf, CMG said, you're both invited to the funeral. It's about 30 people allowed, but you two can come. She did like you and appreciate what you did. So we went to the funeral, and from then on, things were pretty much clear as far as working. And then she's a very hard worker, and she said, you know what? She's been collecting and selling vintage stuff on eBay since, the end of the 90s, since 95, I think. And she has great knowledge of style and 50s and all that kind of stuff. And then she said, well, I keep modeling for these companies, and they make these dresses or clothes, and some are cool, but some are not right, you know what I mean? If you think it's not right, do it yourself and do it right. So she started small and started making, having made, I should say, dresses and things. It took off pretty fast, and now it's bloomed into, Levi Dexter, the clothing label, and she has a crew in LA that makes her clothes. Luckily for us, we have an American crew that make it and cut it and everything. And so it is all American. It's not like coming in from China or somewhere outside India. So we feel good about putting Americans to work. And, basically that's when I'm not Levi Dexter out there on the road. I'm Levi Dexter, Bernie's photographer, or helping her with her business. And we're very happy. We don't have a shop. We work just her website, but we work within the home. So it's nice that we get to be around each other and with each other every day. She's still top of the list. She's been modeling since '99 and pretty much the #1 pinup model since then.
Yeah.
So she's been very lucky, and she's loved by a lot of people, and she's very happy doing what she does. She loves it.
That's cool. You two are very inspiring.
Oh, baby, 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 come back, baby, I wanna play house with you. Well, you may go to college, you may go to school, you may have a pink Cadillac, but don't you be nobody's fool now, baby. Come back, baby, come. Come back, baby, come. Come back, baby, I wanna play house with you. Well, listen when I tell you, baby, what I'm talking about. Come on back to me, little girl, so we can play some house now, baby. Come back, baby, come. Come back, baby, come. Come back, baby, I wanna play house with you. Oh, let's go, cat. Some house and we can act like we did it before. Now, baby, come back, baby, come. Come back, baby, come. Come back, baby, I wanna play house with you. Hit it. Oh, now slap. Come back, baby, I wanna play house with you.
Baby, Let's Play House by our guest Levi Dexter and Magic. You connected with, and maybe tell me how this all came about, with the group Magic from Japan, producing Levi and Magic, the Kings of Cat Street in particular. How did that all come about?
Well, basically, I had heard from Boz Bora from the Rockats, and he said, I've got this label. No, it's not his label, but he said, there's a label in Japan called Vinyl Japan, and they're asking, have you got something we can put out? And I said, well, I really don't, you know. I had a record that I recorded in the mid-'80s called Pomp.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, but it never came out. It was recorded and sat on the shelf. And the original master tapes, the mix of it, was sent out to a person I won't say the name of, but it was shipped out, and I never got the master tape back. So he said, Bob said, well, what about that Pomp record? And I said, well, I don't have it. I don't have the master quarter-inch mix of it. I don't have that tape. And he said, well, Bob said, well, I've got the test acetate that you gave me of it. And he said, why don't we master a CD off of the test acetate, which became the Pomp record. That's why when you get the CD, it has a little crackle here and there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so that was put out on this Vinyl Japan label. The Pomp record came out. It came out in like 92 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was recorded actually in 85. And it had Jeff Ross, who's a great blues guitarist. It has John Jorgensen, who later, afterwards, became Elton John's guitarist. So he had super talent on there, and just everybody on it was great. Bob Roberts on saxophone, who, apart from being one of the most famous tattooists in the world, you know, he played with Frank Zappa, you know what I mean?
Okay,
and
yeah.
So it's a strange mix of people, but we did our sort of swing thing, and again, before Brian did it, we did the small swing band arrangements and stuff, and that came out. Now, when that came out, the people at Vinyl Japan said, we want you to play in Japan. We're going to play tiny little punk places. They don't even have a bar. You're going to play there. So I whipped a band together and went off to do these gigs. And at one of the gigs, I met Kenichi Yamaguchi,
mm-hmm.
and he's the guitarist from Magic, and he came up and he said, you know, Mr. Levi, we love what you do since Levi The Rockats. I'm in a band called Magic, and I thought, nice, you know, and he said, well, here are our 6 or 7 CDs. And I was like, oh, wow, you know, rockabilly in Japanese.
Yeah.
It's going to be fascinating. And I took it home, and it sat on the shelf for maybe a month, until one day I opened one of them up, and I put it on, and my jaw dropped. I'd never been as impressed by any other band, and the reason was that they had original songs, original progressions that were not 1-4-5 boogies. They had album after album after album of really creative writing, and of course in Japanese I don't understand what they're saying, but it didn't, to me it didn't matter. The quality of what they're doing is what matters, and I played their music solidly. Basically, they were signed to Meldac, which is Mitsubishi's label. They said, what we want is for you to do 50 songs with them. So we went in the studio and we recorded The King. It was originally in Japan, it was called Levi Magic, but when it came out later on Raucous Records in England, it was The Kings of Cat Street, mainly because at the time they were very associated with Cream Soda and Pink Dragon, which was a chain of stores that sold Rockin clothes and stuff. And on a lot of their T-shirts, it says Cream Soda or Pink Dragon, and then it would say Cat Street or Cat Street End. And it was like, there is no such place, but it was like this imaginary cool street, kind of like Bob Street is at Gene Vincent.
Yeah.
So that's why The Kings of Cat Street is the title of that. And it came out in Japan, did well, very well actually, and then eventually when Raucous said, well, what have you got that we can put out? And I said, well, you could put this, what I did with Magic out, and of course they hadn't heard it, and they were pretty impressed with, the musicianship. It's awesome.